Dear Professor, because of the coronavirus we can't meet, so our group make the video. The paper our group want to talk about the impact of China's aging population on the consumer market and the labor force. Aging has become a hot topic in recent years. As the largest developing country, China has also faced this problem, so we want to study this topic and hope to give some feasible opinions. In the early 1970s, China implemented the basic nation policy of family planning. The implementation of this policy has caused a drastic change in China's population in a short period of time. In 2000, the total number of elderly people over 65 years in China accounted for 7% of the total population. At this point, China has officially entered an aging society because from 2011 to 2015, the proportion of increased 13.3%. In 2000, the total number of elderly people over 65 years in China accounted for 7% of the total population. At this point, China has officially entered an aging society because from 2011 to 2015, the proportion of the elderly population increased from 13.3% to 16%. With such a huge growth rate and quality of the elderly population, China have complemented entered the aging society in advance of the end of 2015. Two main causes of rapid growth of aging. The one is China's aging problem has its own unique history and system. The main cause of aging is the decline in fertility rate. The main reason is the family planning policy, and another one is due to the rapidly development of society and economy, and the advance of the modern medical. The average life expectancy of the elderly has greatly improved. From this paper, we want to understand the impact of aging population in China in the labor force and the consumer market, evaluate the level of market consumption with aging population in China. To realize that elderly enjoy the fruits economy and social development, according to the labor force structure in the labor market, the consumption structure of the elderly, and the change in saving, and so on. Why our group choose this topic? Because as aging causes labor shortage, if the consumption habits of the elderly are derived from changes in the market consumption structure, then facility companies will respond to the future labor shortage by increased capital investment and increased productivity through technology. By writing this paper, we need to read a lot of other lectures, so we can learn from the experience of some Asian countries abroad and formulate policy based on China's current situation to improve China's current aging problem in order to cope with more serious aging in the future. And the rest of this topic will by my partner.
I presently shift from two aspects of the significant literatures of the methodology and the plans of the chapter. So first, we start from the significant literatures of the methodology. When many use ideas model and micro data processing to analyze the impact of China aging population trend on China's economic development from the aspects of the labor force and consumer market. When you refer to the equivalence between the one period ideas model and the micro data processing, this paper as the reference of our paper. And as for the paper, we show how a one period aggregate demand and aggregate supply model yields. The same reduced from representation for optimal results by the aging population, and in which aggregate behavioral results from a maximization process by farmers and consumers. Furthermore, we agree that the simple ADS model has a practical advantage over the forward-looking near clinician model when it comes to evaluating social emphasis, and the second significant literature of the methodology is about the relationships between macro and micro contexts, implications for the study of the interactions in the mathematical classroom and consumer proceedings. Now I will talk about the CPI. About the CPI is linked with the aging of population. The aging of population in China has also affected China's consumer market. Under the backward of the proceedings, China's GDP growth rate has been declining. Some reasons is because of the population aging rate has been risen. Compared with the inverse relationship, the decline GDP growth rate has a certain relationship with the downward trend of consumer price peaks. As for the second part, it's about the plans of the chapter 3. The first point, we want to calculate large-scale data on China's population aging and understand the impact of China's population aging from two aspects of the labor market and consumer market. When do some research with the large data from the 21st century, and the second point, make a general forecast of the trend of the China's aging population in future. And the final part, when plan to analyze the rate of the impairment of the by the aging population and indicators of the impairment relative population aging, including the influence of population aging on impairment related index and the economy of China. Related to the consumer market and labor force. So these are reports about the paper. So thanks for your work. So goodbye.